Jupiter Media presents Avasar, telecasting global opportunities.
Hello and namaste. Welcome to Avasar program. This program is all about study program, and we are often sharing about the international students opportunities in abroad. So today we are going to talk about study in New Zealand, what sort of the opportunities are there and how Nepalese students are doing there. To provide you the fresh information about study in New Zealand opportunities, we have very special guest from New Zealand who is looking after the immigration advisor. He is none other than Anosh Joseph. He is immigration advisor New Zealand. Let's welcome him to the show. Anosh, you are welcome on our show.
Namaste.
Namaste. So we are quite happy to having you in this platform so that we'll be able to share the study opportunities in New Zealand and immigration rules and regulation for international citizens. So first of all, would you please tell us something about yourself and your visit Nepal for this time?
All right. Kia ora, myself Anosh Joseph. I'm a licensed immigration advisor. I represent migrants in New Zealand and also migrants from different parts of the world. Right, so I came to Nepal this morning, and it's been a fantastic day. And the reason why we came to Nepal is to meet a lot of students who are looking at migrating to New Zealand for study. At the same time, also aspirant nurses who wish to migrate to New Zealand on a short-term study.
Okay, so talking about the New Zealand education system, what are the beauties of New Zealand education?
The main beauty is the world-class education which is provided by the New Zealand education providers and also the standards which they set. For example, there are a lot of students from India, China and Nepal who are coming to New Zealand to study and also to secure a high standard qualification. The reason why these students are coming into New Zealand for study is not just to attain a qualification, but at the same time they are going to experience a world-class education system, also get some experience in the market of New Zealand job market, and at the same time they have an option for move from study to residence. So they can work for 2 or 3 years according to the program which they have taken, and once the program is complete, they can also move to a work visa which they can, in any sort of area which they like to work. And if they are working under any specific jobs under green list, they can go for straight to residence. I'll come back to all those points later.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. So talking about the study abroad, then after their lifestyle and even they can come back to the Nepal and contribute to Nepalese economy. So talking about this, what is the visa application process for studying in New Zealand and stay in New Zealand for Nepalese?
All right, so before I begin answering your question, I would like to let you know that there are a lot of Nepalese people in New Zealand. They're wonderful people. I have few Nepalese friends among my community, and the amount of faith and culture they hold on to is very high, and they are contributing very well into the New Zealand economy and also to the New Zealand job market. To answer those questions in terms of what the visa process is for a student visa, most of the Nepali students wants to pursue bachelor's program or post-graduation or a master's degree. There are certain percentage of students who would like to go for a PhD. The process is very simple. See, it's a very stress-free process. All they have to do is follow the checklist which has been provided from my team, and also follow the process which we always advise to them. It is very important to take the right program. For example, if someone is having a background of engineering, it is good to pursue the same pathway in New Zealand and study a master's degree in engineering or a post-graduation engineering, which is falling under the green list. Also, they have a pathway for residence. The process for getting a student visa is also very simple. All they have to do is basically attain an offer of place from a New Zealand institution or a university. Once the offer of place is attained, they can apply for a student visa. And for a student visa, there are certain criteria to get a student visa approved in New Zealand. The standards are very high, but at the same time, it is not really that hard to get. All they have to do is meet the requirements of the visa. So offer of place is one of the requirements. Second, they need to meet the English language requirement. For example, IELTS overall 6.5 and no band less than 6, which is the main requirement for most of the study. But there are study programs which has a lesser bar for English language. Third thing is having a certain amount of fund required for the study. They have to prove to the immigration officer that they have enough money to invest in New Zealand for the study, and at the same time to look after themselves as a living expense. If they meet all those requirements, then medical and character, as you know, they should be medically fit, and at the same time they should have a good character. If they meet all those requirements, there is a high chance of getting a visa approved, and they can study in New Zealand and contribute to the economy of New Zealand. And the third thing is, once they finish study in New Zealand, they can use that qualification across the world. Is a world-class education being provided in New Zealand. They can use that degree or qualification from New Zealand, and also the work experience which they gain in New Zealand in the Nepalese market, to uplift the people over here and also the employers in Nepal.
So talking about the international students' lifestyle, they have to work hard as well. So to maintaining the quality of education as well as to manage their life, they have to work. In this case, what type of the working opportunities are there in New Zealand?
Right. So a lot of students are working along with studying in New Zealand. The reason why they can do it is because the study is not really that hectic. It is easy to have a balance between study and also work in New Zealand. That's the reason why Immigration New Zealand allows students to work up to 20 hours a week. This is the main reason why a lot of students also study and also work alongside. So 20 hours is the standards which they can work along while they're studying in New Zealand, and also they can work full-time during the vacation.
Okay, let's have a talk about the tentative cost of accommodation and study in New Zealand.
See, the cost involved do vary from city to city, but for a student there are a lot of options. Because if they are going into a city like Auckland, the average cost of accommodation can average from $200 to $350. And if they are having a car, then fuel prices, the average price they use for fueling is close to $100 or less than $100. And also food and other necessities may cost up to $100. So the living expense which Immigration New Zealand asks all students to show is 20,000 New Zealand dollars for a year. So that's enough for a student to study and also look after themselves while studying in New Zealand.
Okay, talking about the international students' lifestyle in abroad, they are often choosing education and career side by side. What sort of the careers are there for international students during their study period and after completing study?
See, there's amazing. There's a lot of amazing opportunities in New Zealand. There is always a labor shortage in New Zealand. Not just labor, there's also a shortage for skilled migrants. New Zealand requires a lot of skilled migrants to come into New Zealand and also contribute to the economy. So that's the reason why we invite a lot of students to come into New Zealand and study certain skilled programs and attain those qualifications. Then after that, contribute to the economy. And that's the reason why the New Zealand immigration has made a green list which specifies a pathway for residents for a lot of students who are learning or having a job in the employment of a skilled category.
Okay, let's have a little bit about the green list pathways as well.
So green list pathways are a replacement for the previous long-term or short-term skill shortage list. Now the Immigration New Zealand has replaced it by a green list. In green list, there's two types of occupations. The first one is Tier 1 occupation, and there's the second one is Tier 2 occupation. For a Tier 1 occupation, if anyone attains a job on a Tier 1 occupation, and if they are suitably qualified enough for that particular role, they can go for straight to residence. Right, so
Okay.
that's a very simple process. That's all they have to do is attain a job offer and also have a qualification to prove the fact that they are suitably qualified for the particular role, and they can go for straight to residence. And the second category is Tier 2 role, which is work to residence category, where they need to work for 2 years, and then they can go for residence after that.
Okay, is there any provision to invite their family during their study period?
Absolutely. It depends on the program which they are taking. If they are taking a program under the green list, or if they are taking a program which is a bachelor's degree or master's or PhD, they can also take their family along with them. The family, for example, if you say what are the types of family which they can take. They can take the immediate family, for example, the partner, their child, and they can work in New Zealand full time. And also the child can study in New Zealand or be with the student or with the person, with the parent for a period of time which they are studying in New Zealand. And the partnership-based work visas allow the student's partner to contribute to the economy at the same time when the student is studying. So it is more of a very good support for the economy of New Zealand, and also supporting the student while he or she is studying in New Zealand.
Okay, you have very good knowledge about the immigration part and international citizens' lifestyle there in New Zealand, because you have been there very long. So let's have a little bit about the Nepalese diaspora's progress, how they are doing there, and for the youngster and the aspirant student, they want to know about the development of their future as well.
Yeah.
So in this case, how you judge the progress of Nepalese diaspora there?
So the Nepalese people, what I understand from them, they are very adventurous and they want to explore New Zealand. And New Zealand is a wonderful place to basically do adventurous activities and also to explore. And if you look at the most beautiful countries in the world, New Zealand will be on the top 5. And Nepalese people are also highly contributing into the labor side as well. They are contributing into the jobs such as electricians, plumbers, and also scaffolders. So there are a high number of Nepalese people who are contributing very well into the economy.
Anosh, thank you so much for your valuable time and thoughts. So finally, what's your message to the prospective students and the citizens who want to migrate there in New Zealand? What's your final message through this television show?
So my final message to all the aspirants and who wish to migrate to New Zealand is to understand the current policies of New Zealand. The way to understand those policies are to get in touch with us. We are here to help you with those, with sharing those policies, and also the latest immigration regulations and changes which have been made by Immigration New Zealand. Studying in New Zealand is going to be a wonderful opportunity for any Nepalese aspirant students who wish to build a career in New Zealand. At the same time, they can also make New Zealand home. That's something which I usually tell to every single migrant. There is an option for you to study and make New Zealand home.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
Awasar, telecasting global opportunities.